Hi, welcome back to the Legacy Tax Hub. So today, have a bit of a story for you. I've interacted with so many people, and this is surprisingly, you'd think at this point I'm used to this story, but it still shocks me how much people don't do their tax due diligence. So, example one, business owner, let's call them Kamau. So Kamau tells me, hey, I just got a demand notice from KRA telling me that I haven't filed my taxes in the last 3 years. And I'm so shocked because I've been filing my returns, or rather, I've been paying this Kagai, again, the Kagai, to do my taxes. And I pay them every month. I give them documents and all these things. So it's such a shock to me when Carrie tells me that I haven't been filing my returns. And now they're telling me I need to update my returns, I need to pay taxes, yada, yada, yada. And I always go like, so are you getting the emails? They're like, what emails? So have you been getting the notifications from KRA? And they're like, absolutely not. So you've never received an email from KRA? No. My first question becomes, are you aware of the email that's attached to your KRA PIN? And most times the answer is, of course. I'm like, okay, so let's pick it up. One, anything that ever happens in your KRA account, you'll get a notification for it. Today, if someone does something as simple as reprint your PIN certificate, you will get that email on your account. So this goes to the side of filing returns. The moment someone files a returns, your returns, whether it's PAYE, VAT, annual income tax returns, you're meant to get an acknowledgement receipt. This receipt always reads, dear who and who, we acknowledge filing of returns. Let's say it's PAYE for the month of June 2024, for the month of December 2024. That's the first email. If you are giving this person money to make payment on your behalf as well, you'll get a second email that says, dear, most of the times it's the company name. Let's say, dear Her Legacy, please find attached the payment registration for the payment of the month of X, December 2024. After that, the moment a payment is actually done and KRA receives a payment on their end, they will send an email that reads, dear, again, Her Legacy, we acknowledge receipt of payments for the payment registration number Y for the month of this. So at any particular point, if you're having someone handle your returns for you, make payments for you, or just any activity for you, make sure you're getting 3 sets of email. The first one, the acknowledgement of the filing being done. The second one, the acknowledgement of a payment registration being done. Payment registration is, what do we call this? KRA is so big. They have so many accounts. They have so many obligations. So the payment registration number is a unique identifier of your obligation attached to your account. So if there's no payment registration, they cannot be able to attach a certain payment to your account. So whenever a payment is being done, let's say today I want to pay PAYE for my company, I will register for the amount of pay, let's say 10,000. I'm going to get a payment registration acknowledgement receipt, and that unique number, it's called a PRN, is what I'll either put in M-Pesa or to the bank. But you cannot make a payment to KRA without a payment registration number. So if you are hiring someone who's doing the payment on your behalf, make sure you're receiving the PRN. After that, make sure you get the email that's saying they have received the payment. So if you don't have these 3, you can always be sure that your returns are not being done. I know there are times when there's a delay, because again, systems, at this point, we all know systems have their moments, but even with delays, the emails will always come. So make sure you are, one, aware of the email. In fact, you can be able to update if the email is from a long time ago and you don't have access to it. It's possible to update the email address on iTax. It's possible to update the phone number on iTax as well. So make sure you're aware of the email address. Number 2, make sure if, let's say, it's filing pay by the 9th, you receive your acknowledgement receipt for the filing by the 9th or a few days after the 9th, and the rest of the documents. Otherwise, if that's not happening, you can almost be sure that your taxes are not being done. And that's why when KRA in that case comes for you or sends you that demand notice, you do not get the chance to say, I did not know, because I've told you. Now you know. You know, ignorance is not, there's a term for it, an excuse or something. That's for people in business. For individuals, let's say, creative space people. A while back, I encountered someone who's in the creative space. I think they are outsourced social media people. I didn't even know people do this, by the way. Me, I'm constantly shocked by the number of things pull out here. Apparently, there's a company that gets people or is hired to do social media and post and everything, and they hire other people to do that. I thought everyone is just direct, or I don't know. So anyway, so this guy works for Company Y. Company Y withholds money from them every month or on every payment, but the guy has never seen a withholding certificate a single day in their lives. So how I came to have a conversation with him, he was asking me about e-teams and the implications of filing returns. And well, e-teams, we're going to cover that differently because that's a heavy topic, but it's very important for you. So tutapatana a different time, talk about e-teams. Today, we're talking about withholding. So I asked this guy, how have you been filing your returns for the last couple of years? Like, oh, I just filed nil returns. And I'm like, oh, okay. And how long have you been working with this company? It's like 2 years. And I'm like, so do you know you cannot file nil returns if you have withholding certificates in your account? And it's like, so what does that mean? I'm like, it simply means that someone is withholding your money, paying you less, and keeping it in their pocket. So you need to take charge of that. And I know he's not just the only one, because I've interacted with other people, and you know, this is something that's happening. I ever worked with someone who was doing that, and honestly, I walked away from that client so fast because that was a red flag. Because, you know, why are you keeping people's money, not declaring it? So the essence of it is do your due diligence. Now that makes sense. With everything that you do, you always have to take some effort in due diligence. As a business owner, can you ensure your taxes are being filed? Can you ensure your taxes are being paid? As an individual, let's say in the creative space or a freelancer who your income is taxed through withholding tax, make sure you're getting your withholding tax certificate. This come to your email. When you're filing your returns, if you go and try to file nil returns and it accepts, just know there's someone who's keeping your money for you. Imagine you work hard and earn money, and then someone is paying you less and keeping it in their pockets. Hey, would never be me. But anyway, so please be keen on that. And then my other section of people in employment, okay, I have to laud you guys because I feel like you single-handedly handle the tax burden in Kenya. It's hard for you guys, but you know, I'm grateful. So for you guys as well, I know most of you are like, oh, my employer deducts, my employer pays, and you're good, and you'll just come at the end of the year and just file your returns and it reads 0 at the bottom and you're good. So can you imagine your acknowledgement receipt can read 0, but at the back end, you actually have a tax obligation. And this happens because, yes, your employer is deducting you. Yes, they are filing, but they're not paying. So basically to KRA, you have this income, you're declaring tax, but you're not making payment. So if this is a situation that's happening to you, if you will see a very nice receipt that reads 0, but if you were to go check in your ledger, you will find that you have tax obligation. So it's up to you. And I know you don't like going to iTax. I know it's not your forte. I know, honestly, not your thing. But please, please, please do your due diligence. Tax due diligence is for everyone. It's not just for us business owners or that freelancer. Even you as an employed person, you better make sure you don't have tax liabilities that honestly you already deducted for again as well. You already deducted the 30%, you already deducted what percent. Just make sure your employer, because case and scenario where you leave that job and then you didn't know. Imagine starting to follow up an employer from 3 years ago or 5 years ago. That will be hectic, honestly. So do your due diligence. So whatever your situation, employment, freelance, consulting, business, do your tax due diligence. And with that, see you next time. Bye.